She walked into the lawyer's office with divorce papers in her hand, calm on the outside, exhausted on the inside. This meeting was supposed to be simple. One last signature, one last goodbye, no drama. No emotions, just an ending. That's what he believed. He was already sitting there, confident, detached, prepared to close this chapter of his life. To him, this marriage was already over. The love had died months ago. The silence between them had said everything words never could. Then she sat down and everything stopped. His eyes lowered for just a second, and when he saw it, his chest tightened. His mind refused to accept what was right in front of him. The curve beneath her loose dress wasn't imagination. It wasn't weight gain. It wasn't stress. She was pregnant, 7 months. His breath caught in his throat. The room felt smaller, louder, colder. He looked at her face, searching for a sign that he was wrong. She didn't look surprised. She didn't look guilty. She looked tired, strong, silent. Is that? His voice cracked before he could finish. She didn't answer. She didn't have to. The lawyer shifted uncomfortably in his chair, pretending to review the papers, but everyone in the room felt it. The truth had just walked in, and it was too heavy to ignore. You were going to divorce me without telling me I was going to be a father, he finally said, standing up, his hands shaking. She looked at him, her eyes calm but distant. You left long before I did, she replied quietly. You stopped listening, you stopped caring. I tried to tell you, but you were never there. Those words hit harder than anger ever could. Memories flooded his mind. Missed calls, unanswered messages. Nights he chose work, friends, or pride over her. Moments when she needed him, and he convinced himself she was being dramatic. And now here she was, carrying his child alone. I didn't want excuses, she continued. I didn't want half love. I didn't want promises you couldn't keep. I chose peace. She placed her hand on her belly instinctively, protectively. This baby doesn't need confusion, only honesty. Tears burned his eyes. He sat back down slowly, like his body could no longer support the weight of his regret. He realized how much he had already missed. The first heartbeat, the first kicks, the quiet nights when fear and hope lived together inside a mother's heart. I didn't know, he whispered. You didn't ask, she replied. Silence filled the room again, but this time it wasn't empty. It was full of truth, pain, consequences. The lawyer finally broke it. Do you want to proceed with the divorce? The question hung in the air. She looked at the papers, then at him, not with love, not with anger, but with caution, as if deciding whether he was still a stranger or someone worth trusting. He stood up slowly, his voice steady but broken. I don't deserve forgiveness, I know that, but I don't want to walk away again. He swallowed hard, not as your husband, but as this child's father. For the first time her eyes softened, just slightly. Not enough to promise anything, but enough to show that his words reached her. She didn't say yes, she didn't say no. She simply placed the pen down and pushed the papers aside. Some endings don't happen with signatures. Some stories pause, not because the pain is gone, but because the truth finally arrived. She came to finalize the divorce, and he walked out realizing he was about to become a father. And this time, running away was no longer an option.